Good morning, everybody. This morning this kind of is a backup KD because of the challenge we had this morning. So those that were scheduled for KD today, we have to be rescheduled. Today, I will try and make us on this topic, communication problem. I think it's one thing that I would say it can be found in whatever department you find yourself, whether dev, whether PMO, whether graphics, whatever, even for Python. So communication problem is one thing that I think can be found anywhere. My introduction, perhaps we fail to say what we mean or we misinterpret the words of another. Whatever communication skill. Now, what do you think he's talking about? I have to call him Abby. Are you serious? Okay. In another words, take out the problem and the communication. Apart from problems, communication. Please help me in your understanding. Just tell me what you think communication. Seriously, I don't want to point. Guys, please help me now. I should call. So, what do you think communication problem is? Problem with communication, right? Problem with communication. It's all right. Okay, for me, I would say communication problem is you not being able to actually pass across to your audience or to the second person what you are trying to make them see, make them know, or make them understand what you are trying to tell them. You get, you might think you're actually employing the best means, yeah. But then if what's this gonna if the communication, if the other person you're trying to communicate with doesn't understand you, then there's a problem. Do you get me? Do you understand? It's all right, sir. Thank you, sir. So I will just try and highlight some communication problems that we might likely face or that's bound to come up in whatever department you find yourself. Now, the first one here is being indirect. Being subtle and or indirect communication is usually ineffective. You cannot expect you cannot expect other people to read your mind. If you want someone to understand you, try being direct and try not to beat around the bush in conversation. Now, sorry, I need to say how to say this before I start. This we are trying. I'm going to try and make it like interactive. Yeah, thank you. So I'm going to try and make it interactive. Yeah, it's not my field, but I think we all should have one or two things to say. So for this first one, being indirect, in saying being subtle and or indirect communication is usually ineffective. You can't expect others to read your mind. I think I've been there. If you want someone to understand you, try being direct and try not to beat around the bush in conversation. Audrey, yeah, I know you are listening, so just please, what do you think this part is saying? What's your understanding from this? All right, thank you. He's trying to say. Okay, but then if let's take that example now. You know, if being direct might not actually just be. If you ask me, I can say that can also be a direct form of communication. Eh? But it depends. I think it depends on the agreement both parties had initially. Do you understand? Oh boy. Do you understand? All right. So what I'm trying to say is this: assuming those two persons involved had an agreement, like okay, whenever I tap you, this is what I mean. That tapping is directly communicating. True of us. True of us. Thank you. So I think for communication to be effective, there is a need for agreement. So we might not actually just want to call that form of communication indirect because I don't know, but that's what I think, Sha. Mm. All right, thank you anyway. Okay, assuming you know the second problem now is second problem for communication is assuming you know the message before the person finishes. Has anyone experienced this one? All right, share your experience, please. Yeah, you say yes now. Imagine you've done it or you experienced it. All right. Okay, this one say we have all done it. We are listening to a friend speak and we already assume we know what is going to be said before they finish their sentence. When we assume we will say, we miss what is actually hitting what we will say. Now, to me, I experienced this yesterday. I was talking with someone in our office there. Someone was not asking, another person now asked, this Drigo, I'm trying to open this Drigo website, but it's not opening. So I'm not trying to tell the person the Drigo URL carries 3B. Before I could say 3B, the person already said, yes, I know how to spell Drigo. If you have to spell Drigo, it's just 2B, right? Now, before I could say the Drigo URL is carrying 3B, the person already replied, I know how to spell Drigo. Do you think I don't know how to spell Drigo? So I paused and I told the person 3B. When I'm like, oh, okay, 3B, and then it's like, so if you tend to assume what, like you think you, not like you think you know it all anyway, but let's just try and listen before we speak. Eh? Let's just try and listen before we speak and don't assume you know whatever the person wants to say because, like we are clearly saying here, it can lead to ineffective communication. It can lead to poor communication. All right, not truly listening. listening, like some persons are doing now, not really listening. They are operating their phone and okay, moving on. When we when hello, can we listen please? All right, thank you. Enough now, thank you. When we are communicating with, can you listen please? When we are communicating with someone, we often are not committing our full attention. Like what you did just now. We might be looking at our phones, watching television, or even daydreaming about something else. When, thank you. When we don't actively listen to the person we are speaking to, not only do we run the risk of making the person feel invalidated, but we also miss important non-verbal cues and may not fully understand the person's message. True of us. Pause. All right. So why do you say pause? Why you say pause? Eh? Why you say pause? I had two persons. I had two persons first. Who was the second person? Ah. Who was the second person that said first? All right. Shay. Shay. I want you to listen to this line. When you don't actively listen to the person you are speaking to, not only do you run the risk of making the person feel invalidated, but we also miss important non-verbal cues. It's open. Yeah. No, it can also be daydreaming. Yeah, you looking and not daydreaming, right? You can't be actively listening to me while you are typing because you need your concentration to type right. Eh? So right. To avoid communication mishap, it is best to give the speaker 100 Shay. Listen, to avoid communication mishap, it is best to give the speaker 100% of your attention. Hmm? Don't ask me, I'm not the writer. Okay, someone asked, you say, is it possible to actually give 100% attention? Is it possible to actually give 100% attention? It's not possible. Why do you think so? So I can hear you. Why do you say so? All right, to answer your question, my mind wasn't doing that. I'm trying to tell you now that I just, I'm trying to tell you now that I just gave you my 100% attention. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. No, it's actually possible, but it's hello. What are you saying? Can you share with us? Can you share with us what you are discussing? Okay. Multitasking. That was what I said. Okay. You can go. So someone is asking, people read and they listen to music. What do you have to say about managing, listening, and reading? Please, can we listen, please? I beg. Thank you.
For me, that listening to music and reading, it depends. When you're doing a theory course and maybe something you completely don't know about for the first time you're doing it, try listening to music. You choke. You can't understand it. It's like, but if you're something, see, if you're listening to music, whenever I listen to music, I say, I've done that thing before. And I'm just revising it, and it's in calculation course. But in theory course, I'm new to. I want to listen to music. You can't do two things at the same time. One will pull you, your mind will pull you more complex. You don't get. I said I read music, calculation courses, and courses I know. I don't really understand. But if it's something completely new, I try to learn something. I try to learn something. I try to learn something. I am music.
Actually, just include that person. The way I, a friend of mine said, whenever you want to for very quick calculation, he doesn't want to, like writing it down, solving it. And this day, he saw me sitting down and kind of physics it, and I was reading the calculation. I was like, I've never met someone like, what do you do that? I ever have that master. When you just make something doesn't work, you should. Something doesn't work. That's the end of the course. He's already destroyed. That's how to do it. Why I have someone, she wants to be, she really be shooting goals. And I was like, and before I say, who tells me she's gone? That's how we just need to do that. You can't do that because some people can solve it. Just for the night, just for the guys, just for the employees. That would have exam tomorrow. But when it's in the club, we have to see what the
While he's dancing. No, wait. Wait. Hello. While he's dancing, you'll be reading. I don't understand. When you are dancing, I think your hands are also reading. How do you see what you are reading? I don't get. But even at that, you said Jota, right? You said Jota. That means it's like a summary of what he's supposed to do. That means he has read it before. I think he's still going back to what he said. I think he's still going back to what. Sorry, what's your name? That's not the thing here now. We're talking about attention. We're talking about attention. No, he raised the question saying some persons can read with music. Okay, so that's what we're talking about reading and fail or give your 100% attention and not getting it. Yeah, we're not talking about understanding now. We're talking about the attention. Eh? Thank you, sir.
Sorry, I have another. How do you measure attention? That is, if attention is I'm listening to it and I can get details of everything you say, without my full attention. I don't even understand. You're saying something and you want to grab all the details.
Sorry.
And I'm doing something.
Yeah. Okay, and you are listening to me. What do you say?
so it's that's the question, but I have to do it. So then you push more of your attention to this because if you might not anything, you might miss from the point you miss some
Non-verbal
non-verbal
communication.
details, you miss some, but then you understand whatever, but you might not get. If I'm remembering attention, attention is very good when you can process what the person is saying. Communication is effective when you understand what the person is saying. Yeah. So it's not compulsory to listen, but you pay attention. It's compulsory to listen, but paying attention is very different. You might paying attention to my mean I'm facing you, paying attention to you. But listening to you might not mean I'm paying attention.
You are you are daydreaming.
Paying attention and listening is very different. No, paying attention and listening is very different. What I've read in my mind. Listening, I might be paying attention to someone else and I'm listening to what he's saying. And so you should process what he's telling me and understand it very well. Because I'm listening to what he's saying. You can understand that. So, no. There's listening and attention.
So what's the difference?
Attention has to do with a whole lot of things. There's listening and attention, but attention is the broader part of listening. I can be facing you and listening to you. Obviously, that's attention. That's what I'm saying now.
All right, please, can we move on? Thank you, thank you. Thank you. Can we move on, please? Can we move on? No, want to move on, please.
Someone was talking to Chris but they asked him a question. And Chris was busy was typing. And the person was like, Chris, are you doing this thing? And he answered the question, check yourself and answer the question like that. I was like, how can you solve that? I can't say that. That was what I was telling
I don't understand you.
someone was talking to me, and this don't feel like everyone this thing to reply the person.
But the reply is Slack. The reply is Slack, right?
Answered the question. But the person was like, it's like, it's not. How do you reply that kind of situation? Is it like,
I think he actually listens.
But not just putting at expenses.
Oh, hello. Hello. The key point here is please try and give your full attention. So whatever it is, whatever mindset it is that you have, try and make it better and give as much attention that you can. Thank you. Being indirect. Being subtle and or indirect in communication is usually ineffective. You cannot expect other people to read our minds. I think it's similar to what we had before. If you want, right? If you want someone to understand, you try and be okay. I think it's a repeat, sorry. Aha, attitude and ego. Or ego, anyone. Thank you. Too often, teamwork stalls because of someone's ego. They refuse to admit they might be part of the problem. Conflicts also arise because of inequality, and rather, let's take the first line. Too often, teamwork stalls because of someone's ego. True of us. Unanimously true, right? All right. They refuse to admit they might be part of the problem. Conflict also arise because of inequality. Is that true? Sorry, inequity, sorry. And rather than make the situation more equal, someone becomes defensive instead of taking responsibility. Do we agree with that? Eh? Amaka? Amaka? What did I say? Yeah, not paying attention. It's alright. So do you agree with the last line, Amaka? The last line. You agree, right? I know. Thank you. Poorly written communication. Poorly written materials, incorrect syntax, bad grammar, and items out of context are all too frequent in inter-office business publications and lead straight to confusion. This one was so direct. There is leading straight. Like there's no to worry about it. If I think I experienced something like this during our last hackathon, and it led straight to confusion. So do we agree with this? I think we need to agree to that extent. Esther, do you agree? Right. Do you agree? Do you agree? Oh, I thought you were reading. Sorry, I thought you were reading it. Cliques, groups, and friendship. A tight and exclusive rather, sorry, a tight and exclusive grouping of individuals who bond together for one reason or another can be problematic if they are not objective. Chris, Chris, yeah. What do you think? What's your view of it? What's your view of the point? That's what I'm asking. What's your view of this point? That's what I'm asking. Yeah.
So I mean, statement,
It's all right.
so, the last few words, if you are not, if you are not subjective. The thing about colleagues and friends, people that are close, is they share ideas. So in that circle, there are some things that you see as right or wrong. And the fact that they are not objective, or if they are not objective, anything coming from outside, especially when the person is part of that group, always disagree. So if at least two or three of those people in that group, or if at least one of them is not objective, and they will continue to be close-minded, figure it out.
Just to add to what Mr. Abedin has said, actually, the keyword there is being objective, actually. And what does objective mean? If you are setting the objectives of anything that you are working on, it's like you are setting goals for what you want to achieve, actually. So, like, if you're a group, let's say a hackathon group, the way you guys prepare for the hackathon, your goal is to win, actually, to present a project that will actually help you do it. If the objectives are not there, then like running a race that has no finish line. So it's like how it is. If there is no objective, it's easy to get problems as well. That's just what it's trying to say. That's what I understand.
Omega, I thought you raised your hand.
Okay, I I was finding this a bit confusing. But from what benefits explained, I think I got a better understanding of what he was trying to say. Like, let's say, like, yeah, outside office now, we have Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, and all that. So the Chelsea fans will tend to be more close-minded to certain ideas, and Man U fans will be more close-minded to certain ideas, and there will be argument that will be open to some opinions from other people. That's just how I understand this. I guess.
Anyone else? So we all get this slide, right?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Okay, the last slide. What other communication problem do you know or have you faced? Like personally, maybe in the office, outside the office. Communication problem that you experience that's not listed. Huh? Silence. Explain.
When someone, a friend of yours, is having like problem,
All right.
It's one of the biggest problem. You have a problem, not for
Anyone else?
I think we shall provide.
Sir?
We shall provide.
Racial profiling.
Like when you see someone, just ask you because of the and how that don't ask you to ask thoughts about
Yeah. I like that one. Anyone else? All right. Thank you. Sir? Exactly. Language.
I want to language trying to buy something from the market.
All right. So we've all heard, and the the actual goal is for us to actually look at our team, look inwards, and see if any of this problem is, if you have any of this problem, maybe yourself, if you are sincere with yourself, eh? You can rate yourself and see if you have any of this problem and try to fix it. Because if you have any of this, then definitely your team members that are experiencing all this, they might not be able to tell you. Eh? You said? Sarcasm. That might be a problem. Yes. All right, so we had no mind.
I'm trying to talk to you. I'm saying something. Then when you ask a question, based on the fact that I don't understand what I'm asking, then I just say something like something negative instead of the actual thing I'm trying to say. And you're like, lost. You're still in that negative mindset. So that's the only thing for me. Our comments is it doesn't have to be or wait for the same place that I'm just trying to like you like most times when you have issues, you're trying to do something like there's an actual thing that's supposed to be first. If before you even ask anybody, there's something that's supposed to be maybe ask you. And if you meet somebody and the person tells you, ask you, like there's a way the person will say it. There's a tone the person needs to say it. Actually, the person meant right, but the tone that the person used to say it is sensitive. You get? So in that way, it can sound like sarcasm. So most times, sarcasm, apart from just sarcasm, tone used to talk to you also matters.
But like you said, it's taking your example now. You said ask Google, but said it in a sarcastic way, right?
Yes.
But then the message was actually passed.
That's not good. That's
Okay.
not good actually because the other person can get offended. I said condescending. The
Okay.
person can get offended. So it's a big problem, especially when you are in a connection, when you're in and people sort of ask you questions every time. And you just notice that nobody is asking you questions anymore. Because and it's also tied to what you talked about ego, pride, all of those things. So sarcasm, the way you talk, tone, does not have a lot of
All right. The way it was already here. Yeah. Like going river. I think I didn't
I say I'm happy. I say I'm happy. And they are saying I'm happy. I'm hungry. That's
All right, so I'll the second one, what solution can you think of? All right, let's do that. So that's